bite-sized podcast where the Chatfield girls try and guess their shy sister Shelley's opinions on a variety of topics. My name is Holly Chatfield Flanagan, and with me is...
Shelley Chatfield Allison.
And finally we have...
Julie Chatfield Miller.
It's 2020, everyone.
We did it. We've been podcasting for 2 decades.
When Julie was in middle school, we said, let's start a podcast. We've got this old barn. Let's start a podcast.
I was still in middle school, too.
That's right. You were in 8th grade. Oh, my goodness. Memories.
But I think we should note 2020 for a different reason, not because of our 2-decade-long history. Something even better than that. I think we should make 2020 the year of the submission. And not of submission, like I want to submit, because anyone who listens to this podcast knows I never submit.
Never give up, never surrender. That's Holly's motto.
Texas forever, clear eyes, full heart, can't lose. No, of the submission, I think we should make 2020 be the year that every week we do a topic that has been submitted to us by someone in the Shelley Gang.
And if you're not in the Shelley Gang, just be in it. Join it. Forever.
Yeah, it means everyone can except me.
Which, I mean, is the premise of the podcast anyways, right? So you can't ever know the topic before we tell you on the recording.
What I should just do is preemptively just suggest everything in the world, and then you'll never be able to do anything.
Hey, Shelley, how about you suggest everything in the world right now? Let's just get it out of the way. How does that feel to your anxious heart?
If it was okay, Shelley, you have to, at the second, make a comprehensive list of everything in the world, that would be very stressful for me. Hopefully for everyone. Hopefully I'm not the only one who would feel stressed by that, but...
See, I would feel challenged.
I think most people would feel like that was not a serious request.
And I would take it too seriously and never rest or sleep until I made a list of everything in the world. Never submit! But I just wanted to run it across you girlos before I opened it up to the Shelley Gang. Should 2020 be the year of the submission?
I think so.
Yes.
I think the small committee needs to become a giant committee of everyone but Shelley.
A giant, huge, faceless committee.
We're going to have to get a bigger barn for everyone to meet in.
Because right now the small committee meets in a very tiny barn.
Yeah, it's a little doghouse barn.
Cute. That's the topic for today.
Doghouse barns.
Could it be a chicken coop? Because I know a lot about chicken coops right now.
Your 11-year-old son wants to have chickens. We've talked about it on the podcast before, but guess what? You're scared of chickens, Shelley.
I'm so scared. No, but Santa must have been listening to the podcast because he got my son a book about raising backyard chickens. And my son has decided he must take it upon himself to memorize the book. So that way, whenever we do get chickens, he'll be ready. And there's blueprints in there for 3 different kinds of chicken coops and runs.
Oh, perfect.
So if it was a barn-shaped chicken coop, I'd be set. But I just have to build it for you and then walk away because I'm not allowed in the barn.
That's true. How about you be the bouncer and anyone who's not you can come in?
Cool.
That's very inclusive of you.
Yeah. Just, you want to get in here? Okay, come on in. I'm the only one who can't go in, so I just have to keep myself out.
And then a quandary, a walking mirror comes up and looks right at you.
No. Oh no. I have to punch its lights out.
I don't think that's what bouncers do.
Yeah, they do. If they see someone they don't want in, they just punch their lights out. That's how they work, right?
I would love to see you try to punch someone's lights out.
I probably could do it if that person was a walking mirror.
I don't know. You'd probably be like I'm going to hurt myself. And I'm going to hurt you. And then you would just both be standing there.
Who is this girl I see?
Speaking of who is the person who is going to start off the year of the submission? I know. Julie knows. Shelley, do you know?
No.
We had someone stand up in the barn and say, I submit the first topic for 2020. And the small committee whispered on the stage and nodded in agreement. And then they looked at her and then nodded at her. And then she nodded back and then did a 360 and nodded to everyone in the audience, and they nodded back at her.
This sounds like I'm glad I don't have to be in this committee. It sounds complicated.
It's like we're all wearing hoods of some kind.
No, just hoodies.
Hoodies that say yuck madness on them.
Shelley, would you like to know today's topic?
Yes.
Today's topic is crystals.
Ooh.
Submitted by Lindsey Reed of the Spooky Spouses podcast, honorary Chatfield sister.
Hooray.
She submitted
Double hooray.
the topic crystals, and Julie said, I don't think we can do that one because who's anti-crystals? And then I said, don't worry, I know.
I've got that covered.
Julie is going to be giving you the pro reasons why you should like crystals. I'm going to be doing the anti reasons why you shouldn't. And we don't have a sister expert this week. So, Shelley, you are going to have to call upon the powers of the crystals or not crystals to figure it out.
So there's crystals and anti-crystals.
It's like matter and antimatter, obviously.
Okay.
Aquabat and Anti-Bat. On the Aquabat Super Show, the delightful children's show about the Aquabats band that we like, they had an episode called The Anti-Bats where there was a group who wore a similar costume to them, but it was in black. And they had to fight each other. That's all.
Cool.
Julie, will you please tell Shelley the amazing reasons why she should like crystals?
Yes, I will. And I had my own expert on my side. My 7-year-old Theo is a crystals fanatic.
That's true. He is a fan.
He loves crystals. He loves anything shiny and sparkly and wonderful.
He has for like his whole life.
Oh, yes. It's definitely his thing, his niche. And so I asked him what the best thing about crystals were. The first thing he said was, expensive.
I didn't realize that's why he liked them so much. I didn't realize he was all about that money, honey.
Well, his other reasons go along with that. It's because you don't find a lot of them. They're very rare.
Uh-huh.
His words were, you don't find them a lot. I don't. He was right. So I think he just really appreciates rare things, which makes them more expensive. You know how it goes. Supply and demand.
Yes.
Economics. Crystals. Also, he said, you don't find big ones a lot, which is so true.
That is true.
Square cut or pear-shaped or big ones, these rocks don't lose their shape.
You also don't find them in the wild that big very much. That's the part of the song that's like she says it really quick under her breath a little bit.
Wait, what song is this?
Diamonds are a girl's
gosh.
best friend. But we aren't talking about diamonds.
Well, guess what? Diamonds are crystals. Yeah.
Is this one of those squares and rectangles things?
Yes. So crystals is the umbrella, and diamonds fall under that umbrella.
Are all gems a crystal?
Guys, here's what crystals are.
Earlier, before we pressed record, Julie told me that I would be learning something, and I was so angry.
Am I the only one of us who never took a geology class in college?
You never took geology?
No, I was busy taking other sciences.
Geography.
And soft sciences, yes.
That's why they call it a GE. Any class that starts with GE, you're fine.
Rubies are crystals.
Yes.
We, in this family, happen to like rubies because we have a daughter named Ruby.
And I like them because it's my birthstone.
That's right.
I like them because it's the color of my grill that I got for my teeth.
I thought you were going to say it was the color of your energy.
Well, that's true, too. It's the color of a lot of your things, Holly.
That's true.
Guys, opal is a crystal. And we like opal in this family because my other daughter's middle name is Opal.
And those are those are the gem, the national gem of Australia.
And they are Julie's birthstone. No, I don't know.
It's actually Valley's birthstone is Opal. And that's her middle name.
Oh,
yeah.
perfect.
Isn't that funny? My birthstone is Peridot.
And you'll never guess what mine is. It's aquamarine. Not that exciting.
I was like, you're right. I'll never guess. I barely can remember my husband's and sons. I know mine, and that's about it.
Well, I'm sure they value that knowledge quite a lot.
They actually do. And by they, I mean one of them does.
Rick, your husband.
Yes. And Shelley, you must know my children's is because they also are born in December.
It depends. December actually has like they're like a handful because like there's the old fashioned and new fashion. My son's a fan of the new fashion because it's turquoise.
Then he is your child.
Yeah.
I was never really sure until this moment.
And also the gem Jet.
That's your son's name.
And it's my son's name, but not spelled the same.
There are no gemstones named Jack or Lucy.
I guess unless you like bought a one and named it. This one's named is Jack.
Instead of having a pet rock, you have a pet gemstone.
My children would love that. They are still so upset at me that I didn't have like a special snuggly friend plush when I was a child.
So that they can now snuggle it.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. I love them so much. Okay, here's just a quick list of other crystals. Ready for this? Salt, sugar, snowflakes, diamonds, most other gemstones. End of list.
Those are the only crystals in the world, the only crystalline structures.
Fine, I'll end the list with etc.
Okay, perfect.
Does that make you feel better? But guys, can you believe all those things are crystals?
I can.
How would you even know? You never took geology.
She did take chemistry, lots of it.
I did, and guess what? You make a lot of molecules. You get to know their structures.
You make a lot of molecules?
You do.
I never know you had those powers.
No, you remember the like balls and sticks?
Oh, yes.
And then you put them together and then put a blankie over it and make a fort.
Yeah.
I love those molecule forts.
That's why everyone wants to be a chemist, because it's the coziest science. So many blankie forts.
The second coziest science, all other soft sciences.
Good one. Have you ever seen a little movie called Moana?
Yes.
Oh, yes, I love it.
In that movie, there is a song that perfectly describes crystals. 'Cause they're shiny. What else was I going to say about that?
We're going to talk about how ultimately that crab whose name starts with a T, he was overcome with his love for all things shiny and then was ultimately defeated.
His love of crystals destroyed him.
Is that what you were going to talk about?
No, I don't know. Guys, the baby. Here's my last point. Crystals are good for metaphors. Crystal clear? Does that ring a bell for anyone?
Yes.
And if you think about all the other things that are crystals, like you could call somebody a gem. You're a gem. That means, you know what it means. Like you're beautiful.
You're a delight.
If you call somebody sugar, then they say, "How dare you?" and they slap your face.
But they say, "Oh, but you know what? Crystals are so rare. You don't find them much."
You don't find them a lot. So, Shelley, crystals are great for all the reasons. And I hope that you choose crystals. And if you don't, then you have to get rid of all the crystals in your house. All your diamond rings and all your sugar and everything that contains sugar.
Do I have to also stop being friends with Theo?
Yes. That's a high price to pay.
Oh, no.
He's got crystal loyalty.
Crystals are thicker than blood.
Well, yeah.
Gross.
Well, blood is thicker than water. It's like A is greater than B is greater than C.
Therefore, crystals are thicker than water.
Did you learn that in your chemistry classes?
Yeah.
Well, I have a little thing to teach you as well. I ain't no chemistry teacher, but I'll teach you everything I know, Shelley.
You learned it on the streets. Holly's street smart about crystals.
There is a street component to talk about crystals, but that is not what I will talk about today because we do not condone drug use.
You're here.
Wow, that's not where I thought you were going with that.
No, but I bet you won't figure out where I'm going either with where I am going.
I never do.
My first point, Shelley, as to why you should be anti-crystals is they're not practical. I have turned over a new leaf in 2020. Everything in my life is very practical.
Yes, because you were so known for your whimsy before.
No, I'm doubling down on my anti-whimsy. You thought, oh, Holly, you're so dreamlike. No.
Holly's head's always in the clouds.
What I am is a concrete person? I don't know. I am concrete. What I am is concrete.
Concrete also good for metaphors.
Yes, very good. But guess what? Concrete is no crystal. I don't know, actually. I think it's not. I'm pretty sure it's not. Crystals just aren't practical. When you think about crystal things, the things Julia mentioned, diamond sales are going down the drain because millennials realize that crystals aren't practical. Things just don't mean the same to us in this new age. Sugar consumption is down and up, but down. I will say there's one thing that millennials love about crystals that still isn't practical in my book. And Julie and I talked about it a little bit in the small committee. We talked about how crystals are not practical because they are seen to have healing powers or powers to help in some way or hurt. And that is something that millennials seem to be flocking towards. And you know what? Much respect. Anybody who wants to believe in something that helps them and doesn't hurt someone else, I'm totally for. Okay? But the year of 2020 for me is practical. And it's just not practical. Mostly because I don't have money for crystal spending. And you know what? I don't have pockets for crystal carrying. I wear leggings every day.
And that's the only use for crystals, is carrying them in your pockets.
Shelley, there are people who carry them in their pockets for good energy or whatever.
If I were to carry crystals, I would put them in like a little leather pouch and wear it around my neck. I think that's how the energy would absorb into my heart easier.
There is something like that in the Catholic religion, but it's not crystals, but it is like a little leather pouch. I remember in high school there was a kid who wore something like that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And he was very nice and drew very well. His name is Eric. Hello, Eric.
Shout out to Eric.
But crystals, not practical. I am not. When I imagine a crystal in my mind, close your eyes, Girlos. Close your eyes, Shelley Gang, and think of a crystal. Is it pink? Mine is like kind of like a rose quartz pink.
Oh, interesting.
Mine's green.
Oh no, what color is mine?
I should have let you go first, Shelley. So
You should have, because now they're poisoned. My mental crystal is poisoned by your colors.
So if yours is poison, then it's like purpley black.
No. It's kind of like in Sleeping Beauty when they're trying to change the colors of her dress from pink and blue, and then it kind of like gets like mottled and it's like together. That's what your crystal looks like, Shelley. Pink and green. And pink to me, just not a practical color. I don't like it. I don't want it. I don't wear it. I don't eat it. Just not practical for my life. My second point as to why you should be anti-crystals is there was a girl named Crystal in my elementary school, and she was in my grade, and I didn't like her very much, but I realize now as an adult that I wasn't very fair to her. I was pretty unreasonable in my expectations. And so crystals remind me of my terrible past as a bad human being.
It reminds you that you didn't give a girl named Crystal a fair shake. So now every crystal haunts you?
Yes.
Person and object.
Has she been the only crystal you've ever known?
In person, yes. There are like a very few in like pop culture that I know about.
What about Crystal Castillo?
That's right. I didn't give her a fair shake either. I'm mean to all crystals, apparently.
Well, you are saying why I shouldn't like all crystals right now, so.
There we go. So, Shelley, here's the thing, is that I am learning, I'm 34 years old, I'll be turning 35 in a couple of months, and I'm realizing that I was a child who did not appreciate other children being children. I hated it. And that wasn't very fair, and everybody's on, their own path and dealing with stuff that you don't know about. And so I think that maybe you should be anti-crystals because I was anti-crystal.
So I should be because you are?
No, because I was. And then I realized I shouldn't have been, and now I'm haunted forever.
So I don't need to go to the School of Hard Knocks. I can learn from you to that I shouldn't like crystals because I should have liked crystals?
No, just don't interact with crystal.
Okay, I should ignore crystals so that way I am not reminded of your shame.
Or, like, you won't make the same mistakes that I did.
I'll miss 100% of the crystals I don't interact with.
Exactly. You won't be mean to any crystals you never meet. Or look at or touch. So
wow. I have to start wearing a sign that's like, if your name is Crystal, please stay away from me.
No offense, I just don't want to be mean to you. Sorry.
I just am afraid of being mean to you.
So my third point as to why you should be anti-crystals is they grow unpredictably. And I realize that crystals actually, like their structure, grow pretty predictably. But what I was thinking was of how when you see crystals in a museum or like gems in a museum, they're like real jaggedy and real like every which way growing, so scary, like that.
So you're saying their inner structure, the crystalline structure of a crystal, that's okay, but if they look wacky on like a macro scale, like no.
Yeah, so they grow unpredictably and therefore can't be replicated reliably, and the scientific method declares that anything unreliable must be destroyed.
Oh.
That's the small print of the scientific method.
Oh, man.
So I think the scientists have kind of like held off on destroying crystals for a little bit, just because like They're coming up with the perfect game plan. And Shelley, I think you should be anti-crystals because I think you are the key that they've been waiting for.
So, because crystals are so unpredictable, their plan needs to have me, an unpredictable person, as part of it to destroy them.
An extremely predictable person, because then they don't know what to do with that. And Shelley, you are reliable. And that is a synonym for predictable. Okay? So this is the point that I wanted to make. I have 2 more points. My second to last point is going back to that crystal girl.
Oh, and I just started doing it. I was trying to silently yawn, and you got me right in the middle of a yawn. I almost choked just now.
Sorry, do you need to cough a little bit?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Going back to that crystal girl, she showed up on my Facebook, people you might know, recently, and I clicked on it, and not like to friend her, but just to kind of look. And she is an activist and a mother who seems to be doing really, really well. And I'm so happy for her. And I wanted to just cheer her on, but I know that in my heart, in her story, I'm a villain. And, rightfully so. I was not very kind to her. But what I was someone on a journey. And we are all on a journey, except crystals, because they are already there. They're not progressing.
Everyone knows crystals can't grow.
Crystals just appear fully formed out of the ether.
They just grow the same. They don't grow different.
Unpredictable, but always the same.
No, they grow in unpredictable directions. That's scary and bad.
But they always grow the same way.
But yeah, there's no such thing as okay, I'm an opal, and I'm going to grow more opal crystals. But then it's not okay, I'm an opal, and you're an opal, but we have a different structure. We believe in different things. We hope for different things. We endure many things.
So how would you answer to there being more than one kind of opal?
They're not the same. They're different, and they can't connect and fall in love and then make opal children.
Well, that is true.
I'm having a hard time following your logic today.
You won't have a hard time following this next logic. It's my last logic, my last point. Fragile stuff is stupid. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk, the end. That's all.
So all crystals are fragile? Diamonds, notoriously fragile.
Anything can be smashed.
Welcome to my TED Talk. It's just Holly on stage with the sledgehammer saying, I dare you, bring me anything. It'll be smashed.
So that's all my points. Why you should be anti-crystals. And I won't make an ultimatum to you like Julie did. Her cost is pretty steep, and my cost is just be a better person than crystals are. Okay?
Wait, then crystals people or crystals the gem?
Yes.
That seems pretty steep, too.
I don't know. Shelley's a pretty good person. I don't think she's going to have to work that hard at it. So now is the time we've all been waiting for, the opinion of the MVP of this podcast, the most vanilla ice podcaster. Girls, I showed my children Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze today. And you know what? They only cared about the puppetry of the Jim Henson Workshop. They didn't like the story that much.
What?
But I did.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
That is a classic Girlo, always rented it movie from our childhood.
Did we rent it or did we own that one?
We owned that one.
Oh, did we?
Yeah. And now it's on Netflix.
Yeah, and that's how we were watching it. And I was loving it. And my kids were like, how do they get the lips to move? How is Splinter a rat like that? Is there a person in there? How?
Just enjoy the magic.
Just enjoy my friend Ernie Reyes Jr., who I was in love with.
Yes.
Shelley, what do you think about crystals?
Well, first of all, I'll just say I came to this podcast feeling a little sleepy. It's been kind of a sleepy day. And now I'm just feeling like my brain was not ready for all the logic, all the learning, all the logic, all the laughter. Just wasn't ready for any of it. And now I feel very confused. I mean, just trying to picture a crystal almost overtook the capacity of my brain.
I gave you like 10 examples.
You did. But then when Holly said, close your eyes and picture a crystal, I was like, oh no. I will say that I have known that Theo is a crystal lover. And I do know that when we went to the Smithsonian and went to the crystal room, Theo almost lost his mind. Like literally running from like display to display. Like, can you believe it? Even though the Hope Diamond, he was unimpressed.
That's because, you know what? It's not very big.
That's
and you
true.
don't find big ones a lot.
That's true.
You know what? I literally thought that the Hope Diamond was the same size as the baseball diamond from the Great Muppet Caper. That's quite a big diamond. It is not.
Yeah. It is, I mean, big for a diamond, but you're right. Like later on in the museum when we saw just like a big hunk of like crystal, he was like, yes! So I like Theo, is what I'm saying. And there are so many kinds. That is pretty great. I mean, if you don't like one flavor, like a diamond, so boring. You could go, something else. And they are so shiny. That's about as much of that song as I know the words of.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are good for metaphors. I think the crystal clear is pretty much the only one I can think of, but it's a great one. You can use it for so many things.
What about crystal blue water? That's something that people say.
Yeah, and calling someone sugar. I'd never thought of that as calling someone a beautiful crystal before, but, it is.
You could call somebody all kinds of crystals.
Yeah.
Snowflakes. Salt.
You're so salty. That just means you're very crystalline and regular, but also irregular.
And unpredictable in a very predictable way.
Rihanna used it, but in a simile, not a metaphor. Shine bright like a diamond.
That's true.
So
yes, crystals have so many uses. And I am going to use that as a way to counteract Holly's point of that they're not very practical. Because I would say that, yes, there are some crystals that are just for beauty, just to look at. But I would also say that there are actually a lot of uses for crystals. I mean, diamonds are used on drill bits all the time. Lasers are made with crystal parts. Watches that use quartz. Like, a lot of things are made with crystals. I'm just going to say that. I'm sure there are more examples of practical things made with crystal, like crystal glassware.
Well, that's not practical. That's bougie.
Well,
Quartz countertops, kind of.
but I mean, a glass is practical. Like, if you can drink out of it, it's useful.
I don't know, guys. I am rebelling against the bougie lifestyle in 2020 also. Not that I'm picking up that it's happened my whole life, but yeah, I can't think of anything that I need that has crystal in it.
I have to say I do not own that much crystal jewelry. I think most of my jewelry is made of metal or plastic. I've got a diamond ring, 2 diamond rings,
3 diamond rings.
No, my wedding ring
diamond
and my wedding ring and my engagement ring. That's it. And I would say those are pretty useful.
Yeah, you got to ward off all the boys who are chasing after you constantly.
Oh, and that's happening all the time. Haha. Also, I have also named known girls named Crystal, and I remember the Crystal that was Holly's age in elementary school, and I do remember that I I remember Holly not liking her. But I also knew Crystal Castillo, the one Julie mentioned. She was my age, and she was nice. And then I knew another girl named Crystal later, and she was fine too. So I'm not going to avoid people just because their names are Crystal. I don't have to hold my sister's shame in my heart. I am not my sister's shame's keeper. As for being unpredictable, I guess, yes, in a way, like if you're seeing like crystals growing like in a cave, they are not perfectly uniform in every way, shape, and form. But they are also known for their reliably being crystalline. Their shapes are pretty regular. So this point really threw my brain for a loop. I mean, unpredictably, and also then later being predictable and boring. This is hard for my brain to wrap itself around. And also for being fragile, again, I would say yes, there are probably some very fragile crystals. However, I would say that's not a universal thing because not every crystal is very, very fragile. I'd say there's some stronger than yesterday crystals.
You know, can I say something about fragility in items?
Sure.
This is the platform I've been waiting.
I didn't. I'm really excited to hear what you have to say.
This is the platform I've been waiting for.
Okay.
I think stuff that is fragile is stupid, and I don't understand why people have fragile things in their lives. Because why not just have things that are sturdy and you don't have to be careful around, and you don't have to like put behind a china cabinet, not behind it, in it.
You put it behind the china cabinet. It's so fragile you can't even look at it. We have to put it behind the cabinet.
And I just don't understand it. And that sounds like a me problem instead of an everybody else problem. But I wish everybody else would get on board and that no fragile stuff was in the world. Thank you.
What about light bulbs?
You know, I do like a light bulb, but I will say that you're not really having to interact with them that much. They're pretty rare.
I see. Good point.
I guess on the idea of fragility, yes, I would agree that as someone with a child, I do not have a lot of fragile like decorations. I do not have tiny glass sculptures all over my house.
It didn't take children or having children for me to feel this way, by the by. This has been a lifelong journey that continues on.
I'm glad I know that about you now. Next time I have you for the sister Christmas gift exchange, I won't get you that fragile snowflake crystal statue I was going to get you.
Fabergé egg.
I guess what I'm saying is I like crystals, I think.
Hooray!
A, they are useful. B, they are beautiful. C, they're nice to look at, especially in like a museum where you can see like a bazillion different kinds. That's great. I like that they come in like all kinds of shapes and sizes and colors.
That doesn't scare you?
No, I'm not scared, especially if they're behind glass at a museum. I know they can't get me. And I always know that there are some hiding behind those cabinets, the ones that are really fragile. So I know there's even more than science lets on.
Science is just waiting to destroy them.
Yeah, like, it's fine. Like, people who like crystals for their healing properties or whatnot, I mean, whatever. That's fine. You do you. I'm not going to probably have like a giant, beautiful crystal thing in my house, like a crystal chandelier or something. It's probably not going to be in my daily reality, but I think they're pretty and I like to look at crystals. So I guess like maybe I need to now go get some like crystal jewelry or something. Show my love.
Maybe I could get you to talk to that girl from elementary school and be my like envoy and say, hey, I'm really sorry. Good job.
Say, hi, this is my favorite thing to do is talk to strangers that I sort of remember from my childhood. Let me talk to you about a past confrontation that you maybe had with someone I know.
Okay.
I'm emotionally fragile. I can't handle that.
Well, get out of here. Holly can't stand it.
I would say that my emotions are like a beautiful crystal, multifaceted and fragile.
And not practical.
And not practical. I agree.
Shelley, thank you so much for telling us your opinion on crystals. And thank you again to Lindsey Reed for starting off the year of the submission with her submission of the topic crystals. If you want to submit in the Shelley Gang, you should go to our website, shelleyhasopinions.com, and you can go to our contact page and contact us there or contact us on social media. We'd love for you to tell us what you think Shelley should give her opinion about. She does not check social media, and therefore you are super safe to do so.
I just want you to just say this. Submit to us.
I'm really trying to be better than I was. And I feel like I've probably said submit to me /us a lot in my life.
Not in so many words, but yeah.
My actions speak louder than any words I could ever say. But submit to us for sure. So, next we are going on to our segment, What's Your Name?
What's your name? What's your name? What's your name?
And in the segment, What's Your Name? I bring a name generator that I found on the internet to my sisters and tell them what their names would be. This week's name generator is the summer holiday nickname. I'm doing this because we are starting off January, the dregs of winter. And I, having grown up in Southern California, as did my sisters, am not really a winter girl. I don't really know what a winter is. A winter is sometimes raining, sometimes a little bit during the day. That's a winter to me. But now I live in Utah and it's snowing and God help us, everyone. Or what is it that Tiny Tim says?
Yep. God help us, everyone. What has God wrought? Merry Christmas. Vaya con Dios. Holly's favorite phrase.
I'd forgotten about that one. So, girls, what I'm going to do is tell you your summer holiday nickname, and then have you tell me which summer holiday suits you best. Technically, this name generator is from a British publication, so they're talking about just like, the summer holidays, like the months of summer where vacations are taken. But we're just going to use it for our American purposes. In order to do this name generator, you have to have two things. 1, a month you were born, and 2, a favorite color. Luckily, I know both of those things about you both.
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho is not a summer holiday.
I said, oh, ho, ho.
A pirate's life for her.
Not yo, ho, ho. Oh, ho, ho is special Julie branded. So
on all the hoodies in the barn. So we're going to go backwards in age. Julie, you are first. You were born in August, and your favorite color is green. So you are the sassy queen.
Oh, yes.
This summer, 2020, you will be the sassy queen. And over what summer holiday does the sassy queen rule?
Well, I'm going to go for Pioneer Day because that's what the one I thought. The sassy queen is the The Sassy Queen is the Grand Marshal of the Pioneer Day Parade.
Pioneer Day is on July 24th, and it celebrates when the Mormon pioneers arrived in the Salt Lake Valley of Utah, and it is a pretty regional holiday.
Like very regional.
Everything closes down in Utah, and except for the businesses that have to interact with other businesses in the world and country. So my husband has to go to work, but some husbands and wives and single people don't. So Julie's the Grand Marshal. The Sassy Queen is the Grand Marshal of the Pioneer Day Parade. Shelley, you were born in July, and your favorite color is orange, and you are the Cheeky Ruler. Which summer holiday suits the Cheeky Ruler the best?
It has to be something not real, because I feel like it would be disrespectful to be cheeky on a real holiday. Is Arbor Day? Well, I know that one's real, but what are holidays in the summer? Oh no, I'm freaking out. My brain is shut down.
Flag Day?
Is that the summer?
Yeah, it's July 1st or something. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Canada Day?
I know Argentine independence is in the summer.
That's the one.
Be a cheeky ruler.
I'm the cheeky ruler. The Argentine Independence Day, which is July 7th, which I guess is winter down there. Does that count? That's why it makes me so cheeky. I claim it as a summer.
I love it. That's perfect, but not as perfect as mine. I was born in March, and my favorite color is red. I'm the nonstop sofa lord.
What?
The nonstop sofa lord.
All right.
Never stopping lord of the sofa. The nonstop sofa lord.
Great.
Are there any sofa-themed holidays in the summer?
No, but the summer holiday that suits me best is Saturday mornings. Saturday mornings in summer. The nonstop sofa lord coming to you live from the sofa. Never not on the sofa, always on the sofa. Saturday mornings in the summer. So yeah,
cheers.
Cheers. Cheers to all of us. And Shelley Gang, I will be posting this name generator, and you can find other ones on our social media. We want to know, what is your summer holiday nickname, and what summer holiday suits you best, especially if you have the same one as mine. We can rule together. I'm willing. It's so important to me to be better than I was. And I used to be a dictator of the sofa.
Now she's willing to share the sofa.
Yes. With all of you. Welcome aboard to the sofa. Isn't that what you say? You christen a sofa by smashing some champagne on it. Say, welcome aboard.
Yes.
Okay. This has been our segment, What's Your Name?
What's your name? What's your name? What's your name?
Shelley Gang, thank you so much for joining us for the very first episode of 2020 of Shelley Has Opinions. If you want to hear some old episodes, look us up on your favorite podcatcher. We are on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Google Play. You should be able to find us anywhere, and if you can't find us anywhere, you definitely can find us on ShelleyHasOpinions.com. That's SHELLEY, hasopinions.com. There we have all of our old episodes. We also have photographs of all of us, biographies of all of us, and, as I mentioned, a contact page where you, listening to this right now, should definitely submit some topics. We want them funny. We want them light. We want them to be stuff that obviously Shelley, that isn't obvious to Shelley. Like our fan Paul, who is so nice, wants us to talk about hockey fights. I keep telling him, Shelley's not going to like those. She will probably hate them. And he's like, yes, but I think it'd be funny if you talked about them. Well, Paul, we're not doing it because now Shelley knows the secret's out.
and Holly knew all along that I would love hockey fights.
No, I said you would hate
I know,
them.
I'm
Shelley,
joking.
Shelley.
I'm joking.
Okay. Oh, we just got into a hockey fight. Isn't that what that is?
Oh, no. Holly kept trying to pull my shirt up over my head.
Yeah. But that's because you messed up my flying V. How dare you?
Oh, man. Bombay. Coach for the lifetime.
And with that, thank you, and I love you, and goodbye. Quack, 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 quack. Gosh dang it, Shelley, where are you?